Fabulae Faciles 4.3. In the previous episode, we analyzed and translated from tandem through accipit. In this one, we will progress from Apollo through habitabat. I will first rapidly read and then translate last time's material. Perseus ubi haec audivit et xinsula discessit, et postquam ad continentem venit Medusam quaesivit. Dio frustra quaerebat, namque naturam loci ignorabat. Tandem Apollo et Minerva viam demonstra verunt. Primum ad Graia sorores Medusa pervenit, ab his talardria et Galliam magicam accepit. Apollo autem et Minerva falcem et Speculum dederunt. Tum postquam talaria peribus induit in aere ascendit. Diu per aere volabat. Tandem tamen ad eum locum venit, ubi Medusa cum ceteris gorgonibus habitabat. When Perseus heard these things, he left the island, and after he arrived at the continent, he sought out Medusa. For a long time he was looking in vain, for he did not know the terrain. At last Apollo and Minerva pointed out the path. First he came to the Graiae, the sisters of Medusa. From them, ab his, he received magic sandals and an enchanted helmet. Apollo autem et Minerva. Apollo, moreover, and Minerva, or Athena. Notice this echoes Apollo et Minerva above, but there's a little bit of variety. Ritchie does this to teach us how compound subjects work, as well as to show how autem is post-positive, meaning it is never the first word in a clause or sentence. It always comes second or later. Apollo and Minerva, moreover, in addition to this. So this would be the continuative use of autem. There is also an adversative, in which instance it is translated however. But the continuative use is typically, at least into English, translated moreover, or perhaps in addition. Apollo, moreover, and Athena, dederunt, gave him a falcem et speculum. Falcem is from the noun falx, falcus, and it means a curved sword, sometimes translated scimitar or scimitar, as I said as a child and thought as a child, a scimitar, falx, falcus, and a speculum. A speculum is a mirror. This is neuter, singular, and accusative as the object of dederunt, whereas falcem is feminine, singular, and accusative as the other object of dederunt. So notice that dederunt has a compound subject, Apollo et Minerva, and a compound object, falcem et speculum. Then, tum, postquam, this introduces a subordinating clause, a subordinate clause, because postquam is a subordinating conjunction, as it was up here. Then after he put the talaria on his feet. So notice that talaria is accusative as the direct object of induit, and pedibus is dative as the indirect object. Pedibus is masculine, plural, and dative. He placed the sandals on his feet. After he did that, he rose into the air, in aere ascendit. Now you may hear me pronouncing aere like this. It's often written with a diaeresis above the e to show that this is not a diphthong. There are two somewhat similar nouns in Latin, aer, aeris, which is a masculine third declension, and it means the air. It is derived from a Greek word, brought over wholesale from Greek. There is another noun, iris, which has what appears to be a similar genitive, but this is actually a diphthong. And this is a neuter noun that means bronze. So the student is advised not to confuse these two, because they really aren't the same, although to an English speaker, distinguishing them can prove difficult. So he put them on, and he rose into the air. Diu, for a long time, through the air, per aera, he was flying around. Notice that this is accusative aera because per takes the accusative only. But how can this be an accusative ending for a masculine noun? It's because it is a Greek accusative. At last, however, tandem tamen, to that place, ad eum locum, where Medusa, etc., to that place venit, he came. So venit is the verb, the main verb here, and then we have a subordinate clause, ubi through habitabat, introduced by the subordinating conjunction ubi. To that place he came, the place where Medusa, with the other Gorgons, was dwelling, habitabat. Ceteris gorgonibus, feminine, plural, and ablative. It is an ablative of accompaniment with the preposition cum, and habitabat, third, singular, and imperfect, ongoing past action, where she was dwelling with the other gorgons.